Hello and welcome to our webinar, Turning Challenges into Opportunities. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. In this 45-minute webinar, we will focus how to ensure the success of your subscription business during times of crisis and recession. So the agenda for today, we will start with the subscription industry overview of 2023. Then it will follow the role of subscriptions for consumers, then the impact of crisis and recession on consumer behavior. We will also give key measures for subscription business success, for instance, self-service process, go-to-market, order-to-cash to accounting process, and key subscription KPIs. You can leave your questions in the chat box, and we will take the time after the presentation to answer to all of your questions. I would also like to mention that this session is recorded and that we will send you the recording as well with the presentation. I'm here today with Sarah and Niels.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I'm account executive at Billwerk for several years. Billwerk is a standard SaaS platform for subscription management, recurring billing, and payment service. Our mission is to help companies with a subscription business to grow and to scale their subscription.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. My name is Niels Vestergaard. I come from Subscrybe. We are a solely subscription-focused consulting company operating in Copenhagen and Oslo. And I've been looking into a little bit of the market research and consumer behavior of the subscription market, especially in 2023. And I will be digging into my report that I made here in February at the start of the year, looking at some of the main challenges for the subscription market today. Let's see if I can manage to change a slide here. Just a sec. All right, yeah. So the titles for today was, of course, crisis and challenges and all about churn right now. A lot of people talking about that subscription companies are having a tough time right now, and that's true. But before I jump into all the challenges and all the tough stuff, I'd just like to note again that the subscription economy is still growing fast. The table I have here on the right is actually on digital subscriptions. It's from Lineup Subscription Trends. And what I'd like to point out is just this compound annual growth rate of 18%, which we have had since 2020, and it's still going strong, expecting a market cap of $1.5 trillion in 2025. This is only the digital subscription market. The product subscriptions is somewhere around the same pace. It's somewhere around 16 and 17%, which is still much faster than traditional industries where the compound annual growth rate is around 10, 11, 12%. So as subscription companies, before we dig into all the stuff that's hard right now, we just have to remember, of course, that we are still a market growing really fast. So what I like to do next is jump into my forecast report. We sit down a few times a year here at Subscribe, try to look at some key points to focus on, and of course, some trends that are going on. So these are the 5 themes that I'd like to unlock today, and I'll touch upon them briefly. Of course, if you would like to know more, you can always go to the report itself. It's on subscribe.com, or you can send me an email, you can call me up, whatever. I'm always willing to discuss about what we've been writing. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump in here. So my first title is this: subscriptions let us consume more efficiently. And of course, as subscription professionals, you're probably thinking, well, I know, right? That's why we're doing it. But the main theme for me today is that communication is the key challenge, especially in consumer markets. We are still educating consumers on this new way of consumption. A good example is the meal box market, where you're actually offering a lot of convenience, and you're offering to take a lot of time grocery shopping off the hands of subscribers. And also, you know, it's more efficient because we can pack exactly what you need for how many people you need. So communicating this specific benefit is actually really key right now when purchasing power is low. And the mealbox subscriptions like HelloFresh, you might know Årstiderne from Denmark, in their advertising and marketing, they've actually started focusing more on the price of a single meal instead of the convenience and the quality of the products, because for the consumer it's really easy to decode that, oh, that is actually a cheap per person price, because consumers know how much they spend at the grocery store. So it's very much about cultivating behavioral change. So this communication challenge is really key when you're in product subscription. It goes for retail stuff like shavers on subscriptions, and also Amazon Prime, Club Metas. These retail subscriptions, all about communicating the extra value that you get out of the subscription. And as you can see in the bubbles over there, the growth rate here is also 17.5%. And the Danish subscription box company Goodiebox, they moved into Germany, I think 2 or 3 years ago, but last year they managed to grow revenue 359%. So there's still great growth opportunities if you know how to communicate this stuff. The other theme that we're talking a lot about here at Subscribe is that subscriptions offer access to unobtainable products. This is what we call products as a service. You might know, I think the most common example is Swapfiets, the Dutch brand that offers bikes on subscription. And if there's anything wrong with your bike, you need service, they'll just come and swap it out and fix the old one, right? This model is moving into the car market, the computer market, and also within high-end fashion with Rent the Runway, where you're able to rent these super expensive clothing pieces for just a month at a time. Drive is a car subscription company that does exactly the same that Swapfiets does. All the green emission taxes and everything tax involved with the car is just part of the subscription, and you can just subscribe for 1 month or 2 months, and then you have everything you need and you can churn out whenever you like. So especially younger consumers, millennials, are leading this change. They are not very concerned with owning products as long as they have the access to it. And as you can see in the bubbles here, this market is also growing really, really fast. So I think not only within B2C, but also within B2B, this will be a key theme for the next few years. The next slide I have with me here is kind of another breakpoint, because this is not a trend and this is not a tendency, but it's all about some activities that you'd like to get going on right now. Because when purchasing power is low, everyone is looking through their budgets. Where can I save money? And it's often with subscriptions, as you know, where we can save some money. So you're in competition with some other subscription offers. So what you really want to do is make sure that you welcome subscribers very good when they finally decide to pay. I picked out the New York Times and Spotify here because, of course, the best subscription companies in the world are really good at welcoming subscribers, and they're really good at explaining how the subscription offer helps the customer, not so much about what they're about. And New York Times is a good example here, right? Do you want all the stuff that we write? Probably not. I like business, I like sports, so I cross those off. So we really recommend that Subscribe that you take a look at your onboarding experience, maybe go through it yourself, see if there's anything that could be optimized, because this can really kick off the relationship with the customer much better and will have an impact on your customer lifetime value, if you ask us. Okay, let's see if I can change one more here. This point here, recession makes us reconsider brand choices. It's actually well known in the marketing literature, but it's kind of the same that I said with products as a service. Consumers right now with the lower purchasing power will be more likely to actually think, okay, I need a new bike. Will I pay 1,200 euros for it, or will I just take Swapfiets with 20 euros a month, which will give me some more space in my budget? The example at the bottom here, you might think that your music teacher is quite expensive, 80 euros a month, but you can get a pretty interactive experience with Recession as well. The thing I'd like to point out with this slide is actually just that Amazon, a few years after launching Amazon Prime, they managed to grow revenue by 28% during the Great Recession. So that was from 2007 to 2009. They actually managed to grow revenue just because consumers were looking for the best deals. They were looking to save up some points, stuff like that. These green fee models are really, really strong right now. Just remember that it is a matter of price comparison. if the consumer has the money to buy the computer up front, they probably will, because they're not stupid. They can calculate that it will be cheaper in the end. But our job is just putting so much service around it that they don't even have that idea. Also, it's about customer segments. If we go into pricing and stuff, that's a whole other webinar. But I can leave some in the follow-up mail. I will leave some articles that you can read there as well. Okay, my last slide is a little bit more boring, but it focuses here on these key activities that we have as consumer-based subscription companies. So acquisition, retention, and win back. This is where you can set yourself apart from your competitors, right? And much like I said on the first slide, within acquisition, you have to focus on being the alternative to the traditional consumption model. So how is it easier? How is it cheaper? How is it better to subscribe to something instead of just buying it every time? The other thing is becoming a helper. The mailbox subscriptions, again, is a good example. You're helping the subscriber with the hassle of finding out what to eat after work and going out grocery shopping after work with everyone else, standing in line, stuff like that. And much in line with that, there is this relieving pain thing. I know it's kind of a no-brainer. You always have to relieve pain, but trying to look at your value offer again and see, is there some pain relievers that we can put into the subscription to offer more value? The other thing here, retention, is tough right now, of course, and it's really a matter of your CRM and communication activities. So what I wrote down in the report was being proactive and being sincere in your CRM communication. Just means that if you're, let's just keep with the mailbox example, if you're in there, everyone knows that costs are higher than they used to be. So maybe just be honest about this fact and thank your subscribers for staying with your value offer. The last thing here, if you are able to, try to introduce some new benefits that will make customers feel like they're getting a little bit more out of the monthly payment. Last but not least, win-back activities are of course also important, whether you are really sophisticated with super complicated win-back flows or whether you're just calling up old subscribers. Try to focus on price and the price of competitors, focus on new benefits that you have put in, but also very important to be data-driven. You have to have some kind of data on why the customer left you, why they were considering something else, and you need to use that data in the communication that you send to them. So let me see if I can find my last slide here. I don't know if I lost control of the slideshow. All right, so my key takeaways today, of course, like I said first, communication is key. Focus on this future narrative that you are the future of consumption and why that is better than traditional transactional business. Reassure your existing subscribers that this way is better, it's much more convenient, it's saving time, it's saving money. In your marketing and advertising, be more focused on the price part of things, because that is what will make people stop scrolling. Also remember the price comparison is high, so you really need to focus on how you are cheaper than your competitors. Also find out who do you compare with. Is there any new players that you should be looking out for? And also who's your segment, because different segments are affected different by the recession. So you need to really look into your segments again. And just my final reminder is that subscription business is still better business. It's hard to acquire customers right now, but you will have a longer customer lifetime value if you stay with the game. So like we say here, subscribe, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So just keep on working hard to make your subscribers happy, and I do believe everything will be okay. I think that's all from me. Sarah, I will put it over to you. Let's see if you can control the slides here.
Yes, thank you. I try. Let me check.
It's a little bit slow, but eventually it worked for me.
One moment. So I think now, yes. So thank you very much, Niels. We have learned the last 10 minutes that in times of crisis and recession, the consumer behavior have changed. The customer become more critical and compare their offers. So the question is, how can companies with a subscription business still stay successful? To be honest, for us, the answer is very clear. Focus is the key. That means focus on your core business and focus on the further development of your core business. But for this, your back office processes and subscription business processes need to run smoothly. And today we will present you 4 key measures to support your processes run smoothly. So let me try to switch the slide. Now, perfect. So the 4 key measures I will present today are very easy and quick to implement with the right subscription management tool. I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of more measures, but in our experience, these 4 are the most important key measures. So first of all, the optimizing of your self-service process, enabling a fast go-to-market, have a smooth order to cash to accounting process, and last but not least, and in my experience, it's one of the most important measures, have an overview of the right KPIs. So let's talk about my first key measure, the optimization of your self-service process. So in times of crisis and recession, competition becomes harder and harder. So it's not enough anymore to have the best product and to have the best price. It's essential to offer your customer the best customer experience. And there are a lot of measures to reach the best customer experience, but there's one which is very easy and quick to implement. It's the optimization of your self-service process. But what does that concrete mean? So on the one hand, it's the enablement of your customer to do the booking of the subscription by themselves, to do the onboard by themselves, and last but not least, to do the management of their subscription and the data by themselves. So the advantage for the customer is they are independent from any service employees. They can do these changes quick and in real time, and they are not dependent on any service times. So imagine, Netflix is a very good example here. Imagine you want to do a remote Netflix and chill session with your friends in the evening. You have a Netflix basic account and want to upgrade because you want to share the account with your friends. Now imagine Netflix would not have the self-service process, and you will phone Netflix and say, dear Netflix team, I want to upgrade from my basic account to the family account, and Netflix would say to you, dear customer, please wait until tomorrow because our service times are closed. So I think this would be absolutely no good customer experience. So Netflix offer their customer self-service process. So in this case, you can log into your account, you can upgrade to the family membership, and you have immediately access to the new subscription. So that means optimizing your self-service process help you to orientate your service on the customer needs, and this have a positive impact on the customer lifetime value. Let's talk about the second measure, if the slide want to change. No, it don't want. No. So let's talk about the fast go-to-market. What does that mean? So we have learned that the customer behavior have changed in the last times, and there are a lot of measures to react on the changing customer behavior. But there's one really cool measure, and this is to test new products and price models. Because testing new products means you stay flexible. You stay ahead of the market. You can develop on your products on the needs of your customer. But what is the benefit of testing new products, testing new pricing models, if you miss the window of opportunity? So it's essential to bring new products and new prices really quick and easy to the market, and especially do changes on the new products and on the new pricing models very quick and very easy. So imagine you have a product management team and you have a market research team, and in these teams there are a lot of effort, there are a lot of resources. They see a new trend, they develop a new product, develop a new pricing model, and you need, I don't know, 12, 24 or 36 months to bring the new product to the market. I'm pretty sure that the window of opportunity is closed already. So what you need is a system which supports you to test products in a very uncomplicated and easy way. My third key measure is having a smooth order to cash to accounting process. Oof, this is a very long word, and let's talk about what that concretely means. So I already told you that focus is key. Focus on your core business means automating your back office and subscription business processes. There are 3 key processes you should think about to automate. It's first the recurring billing, the invoicing, and the payment. It's the management of product and service, and it's the operational subscription management. I think the goal of every company, or not I think, I know, the goal of every company is to reduce costs, is to reduce efforts, and on the other side is to maximize growth and scalability. To reach this, it's not enough to automate only the processes. It's essential to automate the whole process, and there is also the systems involved. So you have to automate the processes, and you have to orchestrate all systems involved in the subscription. But how can that concrete look like? You can see here a chart, and I will go into detail in a very short term, but these charts show you how you can automate and orchestrate all processes and systems around the subscription, and how you can reach a smooth order to cash to accounting process. Let's start with the first part of the process chain, the order part. It's in the green part you can see here. So I'm pretty sure that the most of the company have a concrete idea how they can optimize and how they can automate the order part. That means the part to getting new leads, getting new customers, and winning these new customers. So you can optimize your content on the website, in the web shop. You can optimize your marketing strategy, your sales strategy to get a better conversion rate. You can automate the checkout process so that the customer have it easier to get the new customer. So I think the order part, there's so much to say, but for this an own webinar is worth. So, but we made the experience in the last years that the most of the company struggles with the second, the cash, and the third, the accounting part. So let's focus on the second and the third part. So now the subscription have the customer have closed the subscription, and we are in the blue part, in the cash part. What happens now? Do you have an employee sitting in the office phoning the customer saying, "Welcome to the company, congrats to your new subscription," and writing invoices manually, checking in an Excel sheet, did the customer pay it, did he not pay it, should I phone the customer, please pay your invoice? I don't think so. I think there's absolutely no scalable way to getting more growth. So what's the solution in this? It's a very good subscription management platform who automize these process. What does that concrete means? Let's get us back to the customer who make a subscription. Before the customer make a subscription, you set up your subscription management tool with the right products, with the right prices, with the right payment methods, with the right billing periods and the terms and conditions. And then when the customer have booked the subscription, and subscription engine will automatically create a customer with the right subscription, the right product, the right payment method, the right billing period. And the engine will go to the right billing period, writing an invoice to the right customer with the right product, with the right payment method, send out the invoice to the customer, hand over these informations to the payment service provider, so to another system outside of the subscription. The payment service provider will manage the payment and go back to the engine. And there's 2 cases. The first case, the payment service provider say to the engine, "Dear engine, the customer A have paid," so the life cycle starts again. The second case, and I think it's not the best case for a company, is the payment service provider come back and say, "Unfortunately, the customer haven't paid the bill." So what's now? You can now have some employees sitting in their office phoning the customer and say, "Dear customer, please pay your bill." Phoning again a week later, "Dear customer, please pay a bill, or you have a subscription management tool who also automates the whole dunning process. That means the engine is will take over this part, categorize the customers in the different dunning stage until the customer have paid. So that means in the second part, in the cash part, you can automate the whole processes and systems regarding starting with subscription until getting the money. So now let's talk about the third part. It's the, I think it's green down in the circle. Let's talk about the third part. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you and a lot of people outside of this webinar think that accounting is not the most interesting part in a company. But let me say, it's one of the most important part in the company. So it's very important not only to think from order to cash, it's important to think from the order to cash to accounting part, especially in the subscription business. We talk about account receivable management and not about the whole accounting thing. So accountants will ask questions like, how can I log all activities and business transactions every month, every year, or every day, every hour? How can I handle credit notes? Should I write them manually? Can the engine take over here? What happens when I have 500 or 1,000 or 500,000 credit notes? How can I close and especially persist the bookings and hand over these to the financial accounting, to a system outside of the subscription? What's with yearly contracts? Should I do deferred income by myself? Can it take over the engine? And what happened if we have an auditing in 5, 6, or 7 years? Should I print all the bookings and put it in my office? Or can the engine take over here? So you can see with a subscription management tool, you have not to worry about the whole process from beginning, from the first contact to the customer until to the financial accounting. You can automate and orchestrate the whole order to cash to accounting part and can focus completely on your core business. So, and now let's talk about my last measure. And to be honest, it's, in my experience, as I said before, one of the most important measures. It's KPIs, KPIs, KPIs. Your actions you do must be made measurable. You can have the best marketing strategy, you can have the best sales strategy, or the best optimization strategy for your checkout or for your self-service process. If you have no idea if they go in the right direction, they will never bring you success. You have to monitor and you have to measure the right KPIs. And the KPIs in the subscription business differ completely from the transactional business, because in the subscription business, we don't look only on the new business, like how many customers we want this month, what is our customer acquisition cost, what is the MRR. We have a look on the new business, but also on the existing business. How healthy is my existing business? What is the customer lifetime value? What is the MRR in the last 6 months? What is my ARR in the last 5 years? So we focus on the development on the business to see, have I positive or negative developments? But how can a company, let me switch the slide. Now, that was one too much. Now, so how can a company measure the KPIs continuously? And also here, very easy answer with the right tool. So I brought an excerpt of how that could look like. We only have here some KPIs, not the most, only some. You can see here an overview of the MRR, not only the status quo from what is my MRR today. You have an overview of the development since the 11th of February on a product-based level. You also see the bill turnover here. And you have an overview of the active and the chargeable contracts. And also here, not only the status quo, you can see the development since the 11th of February. So this means you have an outlook of the churn and of the customer lifetime value. But if you want to do a comprehensive AI-based evaluation and prediction of your business and your KPIs, you have to integrate a BI tool in your IT infrastructure. So this is our experience from the last project we did with our customers. So let's summarize the last 10 minutes. We have 4 key takeaways. The first one is focus is key to stay successful with your subscription business. A good and smooth self-service process has a positive impact on the customer lifetime value. If you want to stay ahead of the competition, it's important to stay flexible and agile. And KPIs, KPIs, KPIs. Know your KPIs and you will know your business. Thank you very much, and I hand over to Sonja.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Niels, for the presentation. Very interesting. Let's start with the question and answer session. So first of all, I got a question for you, Niels. What would you say are the most important retention activities right now?
Well, yeah, like I said, there's the whole CRM communication part of it. But I think if I should say something that's concrete, I guess gamification is a big thing right now. If you know the audiobook service, Storytel, I think it's called in Germany, but it's called Mofibo here in Denmark. They are really good at showing the subscriber how much are they reading and what's their favorite genres, and it's a really great way to if you're able to show the consumer what they get out of your subscription, that works really well. Another example is Duolingo, of course, the language learning platform. We really like to see our progress stated in a table or a chart. So if you can make that dashboard for your subscriber to see how much money have they saved or how much have they learned, something like that. That's a really low-hanging fruit, so to speak, if you know how to develop it.
Thank you, Niels. Could you please explain your experiences with the My Way product subscription that you just launched last year?
Yeah, because I didn't really get into it, but the idea we helped a large Danish computer retailer launch basically it's just swap feeds for a laptop. So we made a laptop subscription aimed at students who have low purchasing power and who don't necessarily can afford an expensive MacBook Pro. And we tested it out, and we actually saw steady growth. Actually, we saw more growth than expected, so that's really good. But we also found some challenges in this price comparison thing, that students who can afford a computer will mostly just buy it. So it's all about communicating these services around it, that you have some insurance and you can change when you need changed, and if anything happens to your computer, you can switch it out. So it's all about communicating this in your marketing. Like I said, it's about behavioral change. So it's a totally ongoing challenge with that.
Thank you, Niels. I have another question. Do you have any experience to share on sign-off flows? And second question, how do you send the subscriber out the door the best way?
Yeah, because I touched upon in the win-back talk, I touched upon sign-off flows, and it's mostly something I see in very sophisticated subscription businesses. That, like, it's not the first activity that you start on, but it's of course really important to try and collect some data when the customer is on the way out the door. Of course, have some sincere communication saying we're sorry to see you leave, and then have the option for them to tick off that they can receive some communication if anything changes or the price changes. So that's the whole communication part about creating a smooth UX experience when you're logging out, much like the self-service platform that Sarah mentioned. But also it's just like really trying to pick up 1, 2, 3, or 5 data points that you can store, and then you can get back to the subscriber that way.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for you, Sarah. What happens when a credit card number expires, and does the customer have to change the credit card number by himself?
This is a very good question, and I can also answer, or I can also only speak for Billwerk Plus, not for every subscription management tool on the world. but it depends on the integration you have with your payment service. So we have an own payment service with Billwerk Plus Payments, and we have integrated the Visa tokenization. That means that if a customer have a new credit card, or the credit card expires and they have new credit card numbers, they don't have to log in their account, and they don't have to change the data. It will be done automatically by our system. But again, that depends from system to system. As far as I know, we are first mover with the Visa tokenization. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. And speaking of subscription management systems, can only period-based subscription be managed in subscription management systems?
Also here, I can't speak for each subscription management tool in the world, but this is something you should take a look evaluating a system, because it's not enough if a system can only manage period-based subscription management or subscription businesses. It's essential that a subscription management can also manage consumption-based system or models. Imagine Amazon. You have a period-based subscription, so you pay each month. And if you want to see a film, you also have the consumption-based model. So you pay, I don't know, 20 euros or 15 euros. I think it's a very pretty high price, but you pay 10 euros for a film for 24 hours. And this is a consumption-based subscription model. If the subscription management tool doesn't offer you or will not offer you to handle both consumption-based and period-based, you're not flexible enough. So this should be something you have an eye on evaluating a system.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. And speaking of the subscription again, in the chart that you showed with the three areas, where is the subscription being stored? Maybe we can go back to that slide.
Yes. The subscription is stored. So also here it depends on the system. You can see here in the blue part, the management of the products, billing and payment. You have here products and services. In a subscription management tool, normally you have a section where you can put all your products in. So you can say, okay, I have the basic model. In the basic model, you have, I don't know, features like this, this, and this. You have a premium model with the features like this, this, and this. And you have the professional model with this, this, and this. And these informations are stored in the subscription management tool, because when now a subscriber book a subscription, you have the information in the subscription management tool with customer have this product with this price. But normally, in the most of the cases, the subscription management tool is integrated in a service provisioning tool where you can mirror these informations. This depends completely, but this depends completely from the IT infrastructure of your company.
Thank you, Sarah. I got a question for you again, Niels. Can you please elaborate a little further? Why are product as a service models trending, and is it the case for B2B industry too?
Yeah, that's a big question, I guess. I think for the slide about the cars on subscription that I wrote, I think it's coming from especially these city environments where you're able to rent cars on a very short basis, on a 10-minute, 20-minute basis. And it's also these young consumers, millennials, are really leading the change of ownership is not yet important. They want to kind of build their life with building blocks as easy as they can, and then you can do this by subscription. So if I need a car to go on summer vacation for 1 month, I just need it there. I don't want to deal with any taxes and green emission stuff. And also, if the trend is moving to B2B, most definitely it is. We've just been looking at a report from Germany, actually, talking about equipment as a service, which is more of the leasing of industrial machines and factory machines that is being offered on a service model, because every product that needs a lot of service and a lot of maintenance is really much better to offer on a service, because you're able to create a much more dynamic relationship with your customers, also on the B2B side.
Thank you, Niels. I think we have time for one last question. So if customers are prompted with the payment changes, is there a high risk of churn?
I think the question is for me, right?
Yes, Sarah?
So I would say it depends, but yes. So every time the customer have to interact with you again, there is a possibility that the customer think about, do I really need this subscription? So in the best case, you offer the customer a process where he booked the subscription, and then he have an automatically renewal with no new interaction, where we have to put in his payment data again, or where we have to do anything again. So this is the best case. But if you have no other possibility, and the customer have to put his payment data again, this should be in together with the department of the customer success, so that you have different measures to avoid churn of the customer.
Thank you, Sarah, for your answer, and thank you, Niels, also for your presentation today. We're done with the questions, so I thank you all for your attention today and the time to join us today. As I mentioned, you will have the recording session and the presentation afterwards. We will send it to you via email. I thank you all for today, and hope to see you again very soon. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye, everyone.